ScourgeBringer is an action roguelike game that is as fast and as frenetic as it gets in the genre. It has the wall-to-wall momentary platforming action of Celeste, with heart-pounding combat that makes your heart palpitate more as you continue to get better and better and progress through the game. It's perhaps one of the most fun indie games I've had the pleasure of playing in this year. You assume the role of Kyra, I believe that's how it's pronounced, a woman sent into the ScourgeBringer to, I guess, bring salvation to humanity? The game's kind of light on story, but there's a ton of lore entries that can be found throughout the game. The combat is as fast as a roguelike has ever been, at default speed. That's before any upgrades. Armed with a sword and a drum that shoots for you, use it around the battlefield, slashing through everything and shooting everything in your sight. Nothing escapes you while you're in the room. You're given quite a bit of free agency on how to approach combat, with more options opening up as you progress. While a vast majority of this gameplay on screen is played using mouse and keyboard, the game plays really well on an X input controller. Of course, it has to, considering that the game is getting a console release. Like many other 2D games, the game is best played on a controller with more D-pad focused locations, such as the PS4 or something like an 8-bit SN30 Pro, which I used. The music ranges from atmospheric to a sort of grunge metal style during combat. The music for each stage and boss is distinct from one another, and the music serves to enhance the atmosphere more than these massive, bombastic, memorable pieces of standalone art. The sound design is excellent. The guns feel powerful. Your sword slashes and smash sounds impacts, and it certainly feels great too. The audio cue from a successful stun is music to my ears every time I chain stun. You guys should listen right here. That doesn't mean the game is easy. In true roguelike fashion, the game is relentless from beginning to end, and the difficulty ramps up quite quickly once you progress through the levels. While you're given upgrades that make facing these enemies more manageable, never believe for a second that you're truly 100% safe. You'll die over and over and over and over again. Of course, that doesn't mean the game is totally unfair or anything. The game is quite fair with how it kills you, and in fact, a lot of my own deaths are admittedly due to my own mistakes, miscalculations, etc. Now for the million-dollar question. Should you get this game? If you have Xbox Game Pass, you already got this game, so you should play it while you can. Otherwise, well, it depends on how big of a fan you are of roguelike games, because a lot of indie games tend to be roguelike games. Let's be quite honest here. And not a lot of them are really worth playing, but this one definitely is. And if you want to shell out the $15, definitely. Another thing is that this game supports ultra-wide resolution. Like, not literally ultra-wide, but it handles it a lot better than most games do. The UI is nice and in the center, and it doesn't stretch out the screen to a disgusting amount.